Morohato, Adina, Lena Malaysia, Abram, the Heat, the Agro, you were an you can also the training. So, the different cost the always, we go to live in every name. Once maybe I'm on the Persian Shire Morgan, Morohato, again, Abraham, I think you relate with the high mason, Martin English, your master, the Roman discussion. The dog of time. I was still name, or every little matter, showing the person, Name well, love me, Mr. Hyman, I'm sure. And I'm not allowed to use me, so I thought, I may say. I do so, and I do so. I'm still it was not so short. Across the end of the year, we're going to tell us about my other should the best place my horse, but a little more some shot on my beer. Or a good and I made every coach like a split mire. You know, they're going to like them, see what they were there. I'll do you have to go to the fishing. Well, like others, I don't know what does. I'm going to shoot off. When I others, I should be able to talk about your looking over the talk about the book. I'm not about right to the sugar. Laugh, I'm not a word. You'll do something about the slayer. Anyone you know, you're willing to make how much love you'll go. What's it about? Well, you spoil. If anyone even you got me, well, the first program telling you which one were the deny. I love it. But I'm also not these people. I mean, wasn't great. You video. Well, we have to produce a lot of my girl. Exactly, every maybe I mean, we're all deny. Very nothing. I say that. I love to do my love. It's so lovely that it's a very good. You know, I'm not really, it's just a whole resolution. Because binyan ayılan barakat hadinay. Aynen Yeruşalayim. Esselam da bir adam evet ne ama yani doğru şu olsa hangi bir şey olsa hangi bir şey olsa ayın barakat hadinay. Nasıl ya yani şu var. Ma köyleyin o hadinay leyin o Abraham ra böyle o Abraham ra sana diyorsun ki ama da ama bana kadar kendine kadar düşün beni ya da ben dost kapıya barakat hadinay. Şöyle ya da bu var. Then the other one, this was straight. What my little service of the beach, so smart, you know, at the time, we didn't tell them about. It's a zen, I need to Abraham, Barakadi, Abraham, but you can also see it. There's no option where oh, I don't remember how I set up. When you don't realize that, there was a place everywhere. You're the color of our real some because there are very loving your love. We'll come to the station. We're going to come by the model. I'm not telling you all this. Well, I love you. I highly sure say my sister, I'll tell you what I did. I tell you, I like this. Seems like the over of time. Later, what I saw my here. I'm going to be very enough. That's a lot of what nearly, you know, there is time I was less long over I'm something been a whole. I was obviously not about a tiny night. Israel, I shall learn. Cái việc của xem mà đi nói sớm ngày mà ở bây giờ rồi còn biết Australian relation all the regulation Australian General Mansion you've got it's got that always a reference available for the last kind of shit. I obviously show goes regarded the room. Age me now a little moment my is probably some of the service the service level solution for sure before. Yeah, was those almost the public so got the one in the spine of room. Each number now show I remember we have to jump later off the show. Later, we have a lot of police pressures. Never mind, the mouth colors, baby. Oh, yeah, I know your husband.
Amém. 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 Ishmira, Baba, we might say. Amém. 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 microphone maybe. Amém. 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 Shmi Rabba, Rabbi Allah, may my Spade. Amém. 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 Shukaya. Today Jewish history. Right, tonight in the year 1430, on the 22nd of Adar, the year 1430, there was a decree in Rome. Rome said that every Jew in Rome, in Italy, has to go through a conversion, has to convert to become Catholic, and if not, then leave the country. The same day when that was supposed to take place, the mass conversion, there was an earthquake, and in that earthquake, the archbishop and the priests who conceived this plan were all killed in this earthquake. They were all. The Pope was Pope Martin V. He said he realized why the decree took place. He said this was a decree. He realized it was a pandemic. He said he realized why this happened, and he took it back. He said the Jews don't have to convert. Huh? That was 22nd of Adar, 23rd of Adar. The Shabbos marks the his birthday. Oh, so we have a series for bringing the Shabbos. No, it's Tuesday, a double series for bringing the Shabbos. Anyway, so this Shabbos is the day that the Mishkan was completed. The 23rd of Adar. We left Mitzrayim, we left Egypt on the 15th of Nisan. The following year, following Adar, the 23rd of Adar is when the Mishkan was finally completed, and that's when they start the completion of constructing the Mishkan, and that's when they started the 7-day inauguration, 7 day of practice, and then Vahi B'Yom Hashmi, this week's parsha on the 8th day, when they actually started the service was this week's parsha, the 8th day. That was the 8th day after the 7 days of practice, which started this Shabbos. This Shabbos is also Shabbos of Nisan, and that means the whole Tehillim, the whole film of Shabbos. Huh? He's still old from that. I do. Sometimes Shabbos. And so we do the whole Tehillim, and we lesson the month of Nisan, and from the first of Nisan. Huh? Oh yeah. And we're going to Tom. So quickly. So what were we saying? Oh yeah, so from the first of this, that's when we start doing the Nasi each day. That's when every day once the 8th day occurred, the Iber and Shmini, after 7 days of practice, was each day was a Yom Tiv for another one of the holiday for another one of the tribes, another one of the Shvatim, and that's why we do the Nasi on each of those days, starting with the first of Nisan. This Shabbos is also the yahrzeit of Reb Yitzchak Meir Alter, who was the first Ger Rebbe, passed in 1866, and it's also the yahrzeit of Ari Halberstam, 1994. The Brooklyn Bridge shooting. Those who remember Shid Bazi and Akshamai. I remember. Huh? Our whole system makes no sense. A whole lot. Anyway, so they shot at a van of Yeshiva Bachrim on the Brooklyn Bridge. 3 passenger van full of Bachrim. Three Yeshiva boys were hit. Huh? More than 15. Okay. Oh yeah, it was more than 15. Whatever. Anyway, there were 3 guys who were hit. Aria unfortunately went right away. Other boy was on and off, and finally Baruch Hashem, he made it to Sunken. And the other guy, Baruch Hashem, was only shot in his tuchus. It was bad, but walked with the cane for a while. But anyway, so that was Ari's yard side is the Shabbos, the Sham Shabbos. The Shabbos is also Parshas Parah. It's one of the 4 special Shabbos. And we learned why why Parah come before HaChodesh, even though HaChodesh should come before HaParah. Even though HaChodesh, we were commanded on Chodesh Nisan, which is the first of Nisan, and Parah is to commemorate the red heifer, Red Bull. Give you wings. The Red Bull. So the Parah Aduma, the red heifer, which we were commanded only on the 2nd of Nisan, and those that learned this, was this Shabbos when we learned this past Shabbos, right? We learned together. We learned this Shabbos. Why Parah Aduma, the Shabbos Parah comes before Shabbos HaChodesh, even though in chronological order, HaChodesh comes before Parah. So this Shabbos is Parah, and then next Shabbos is HaChodesh. What? Strawberry milk? Tell us what is strawberry milk. Parah. Okay. Those that didn't hear Mati's important announcement, he said that's where strawberry milk comes from Parah Aduma, from the red heifer. Okay. All right. Halacha. Let's do one halacha. No, right. Huh? Okay. 2 halachas. Okay. The water that's mixed into we have in order to make matzah, it's dough. The ingredients are flour and water. The water that's used for the matzah, it's called mayim shalano. Mayim shalano means water. Mayim is water. That arrested. Lan means arrested. It rested overnight. And so the custom is, the way we do it is, we draw the water. It's drawn from a well water. So we draw water from a well, and we do that. It's usually done the night before we bake matzah. So if we're baking matzah tomorrow, we do it exactly now, or now we'll be finishing. Bein hashmashas, twilight. So between, like the candle lighting this past week was, what time? 7:09? So let's say 7:09 is candle lighting. That means that 18 minutes, that means the candle lighting is 18 minutes before sundown. So 7:09 plus 18 is 29, 39, 37. 37 is sundown shkia. Yeah, 37 is shkia. Yeah. So based on every day. So based on what today is, maybe it's 38. Let's say today was 38. Between 38 and when the stars come out, that's the twilight, nightfall. So that's the time, that whatever it is, that 15, 20 minutes, whatever that time is, that's the time we draw the water for the next day's matzah baking. This is something which is done. It's a custom which we do till today. That's what's done at baby matzah baking. That's what we do. Now, that water has to stay overnight 12 hours. That means if we draw it now at 7:43, whatever, right? So that means we can't start baking until tomorrow, 7:43 a.m. So yeah, so that now what happens if we want to start what let's say sundown is, let's say we're living in a place where it gets dark much later, probably Australia now or South Africa now. Those countries, it gets dark a lot later now. So then if there's no 12 hours that passed, then and you want to start baking earlier, let's say you want to start baking at 7 o'clock in the morning, that's when people start to work. So then you would have to have the water the day before that. So 2 days before 2 nights, which is fine. We just have to make sure that the water is covered. Because always that's the halacha. Water has, in any case, the water has to be covered. Overnight, the water has to be covered. Let's see if we have a bottle of water. We have a bottle of water, Zephyr Hills water, in the middle of drinking, and it happens almost every day, I could say, in my house, where one of the kids, let's say Harry, who I love so much, will take a bottle of water, up, take a drink, and put it back down on the table. And somehow he snuck out of bed and or whatever and did it again in the middle of the night, because otherwise I'd catch it, and took water and left it on. And then the next morning, what I do is I take that water and spill it out, because the rule is that water that is left overnight, which wasn't covered, we're not supposed to use the next day. So the water which rested over, we have to make sure to cover it. Anyway, madam? 57 today? Yeah, let's check. All right, we have another halacha to do. Sorry about that. Yes, it is reason giving. You're right. Sorry, that is the reason brought down. Yes, we still do that today. So it says that there's danger, and one of the things is that the danger is that we don't find that. Let's say a brownie had stayed overnight. Let's say we left brownies overnight. But maybe a snake got in there. We don't find it there. We find it. I think it says, huh? Okay. What happens if a person cannot? You can't do it exactly at twilight, the drawing of the water. So then it says you could do it a bit before twilight, but try to do it as much as possible towards that time. In other words, it doesn't make the shmur matzah unkosher. It doesn't make it, or it doesn't even make it. Obviously, it doesn't make it not kosher. There's nothing unkosher in it, but it doesn't even make it unshmura matzah. It doesn't turn it into Yehuda matzah or Meshet. Doesn't lose its label. But try to do it right before Shkia, right before that time. You should also store the water in a cool place, just like the stacks of we discussed yesterday. You shouldn't stack them one on top of the other, because then it's going to become hot. It adds heat. The water you should also store in a cool place. Huh? Room temperature is fine, as long as it's not a hot place. But it says here, Makim Kar. What does Makim Kar mean? Cold place, cool place. Should also make sure it doesn't shine on that water. Sometimes bacon because that again will add heat to it, and we don't want it to be hot the water. It's also we also strain the water. I guess just to be clean. No bugs, no pebbles, no right. Just be clean water. Now, you could technically draw water once for a whole week, for many days. There's no problem with that. Nevertheless, it's better to do each day for its own. And therefore, for each day's baking a matzah, the evening before, that's the prime time that's the time you should do it. Or if you're in a country where you don't not gonna have 12 hours, so then 2 nights before. But specifically for that day, 1 day at a time. So again, that's the proper way to do it. It doesn't unkosher it, doesn't unshmura it, but that's the proper way to do it. Is each day for its own. What? Now it's fine. What? All right. Mendel gave the green light. Right. I'm gonna go. You're up. All right, Nathan, you were voted in. It's a democratic country, and you don't have a choice. Landslide. It was a landslide. Wow. Not for long. Not democratic long. Hopefully, it will be. Oh, you want to be a Democrat? No, I want to be a Republican. No, that's not what I mean. Oh, you put out. Yeah, basically like something for me then.
Biscada Shmerava, Yamadiver, Rusiviam, Luciviasma for Recur Mashiach, I have one of your make I don't basis for our Galavian Curry Beamer, Amen. Welsh made a good agree. I want to call the hospital here. The husband of the mere Milma Beamer, Amen. Nice question over. I tried and I already are open. In my universe, I mean, I remember I tried and I.
You have to ace it there. You have to do that. Hello, Lisa.
Adonai Elohim Amas.
All right, there's no these like that.
Malchus, so there's some keyboard left on Moshe Minister Hall on his share between Parabba Gom and Kulam. and Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael. Mishmor Seisenu Vayenu Chaim Tovim L'Shalom Yachad Adonai Shemini Matzah Baruch atah Adonai Shemesh Am Yisrael Ad Yiskada Viskada Shmer Abba Ve'alma Dever Harisa Ve'alma Mahus Ve'atzmach Berkone V'Kur Mashiach Ve'efanu V'Mechanu V'Agala V'Zman Kari V'Imru Amen Amen. Iskara, Viskara, Shmiraba, Yamali Berkuri, Yamali Lapus, Yatsmas, Perkanavi, Kari, Mashiach, Ayen, Remain, Hado, Visraba, Galavizman, Kari, Vimra, Amen. Bisalash, the good shepherd.
Amen.
Let me clever pasta this year. Hamasa, Damir, Bialma, Vimra, Amen. Scabbat, Wilson, and Yasno, Visraka, the Mabon, Nishma, Vimra, Amen. Ishlam, Rabin, Shmai, the Lima, Place, Vimra, Amen.
Amen.
Arthur, Shalom, Lima, Place, Vimra, Amen.
Amen.
Nabar, Papaya, Nalamel, Hakala, Aris, Bayamari, had Adishma, Ahad.
Amen. 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 Shri Ram. Maya is my Amen. 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 Shri Ram Barak Yallah Maya is my Amen. 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 Everybody. Anybody have a word announcement? Still hungry. Oh, everyone's way too serious. Don't have that. Inshallah, you got anything there?
Still hungry.
That's right. That's all we need for the announcement. All right.
What do you call a bagel?
All right, everyone. Have a good night. The best night ever. Tomorrow morning.